Fear in market timing. Fear in market timing. That's what we're going to talk about here today. Had an email from a Deborah who writes in, she just watched a program stating that basically our dollars and 401k investments are about to drop due to the Fed and liquidity issues in the sometime near future. That would be the repo issue that everyone's freaking out about. I chuckle because literally no one talked about the repo issue. I guess they talked about the beginning of January a little bit, but no one talked about then. And since then, the negative Nellies have been all over the place in the last few weeks. It's weird. Whatever. Okay, so and then she shows this video from Lynette Zhang. I've actually heard, I think I had a client actually when I was at USA who, I don't know if used Lynette Zhang or told me about Lynette Zhang. And I don't follow her. I don't care. I mean, I don't not follow her because I don't like her. I just don't care. But and I'll put the link in the show notes if you want. And Deborah says, the video pushes investing in gold and silver, and I've always taken this guidance with a grain of salt. What caught my attention is that JP Morgan just got charged with RICO violations for manipulating silver, and the Overstock.com CEO is liquidating his funds to invest in gold. I am 60, and thanks to you, my goals are pay off my house for the next 2 years. She owes $130,000. Retire in 2 years as soon as the house is paid off. Live off my 401k funds until I reach 70, then draw Social Security. Yeah, there you go. I'm too high of a tax bracket to pull 401k out to pay off my house. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So she says, I don't want to pay off my house with my 401k. Yeah, don't do that, Deborah. I will be one disappointed and mad mama if my 401k loses value because of fiat currency problems within the Fed and I don't get to retire. What are your opinions on this valuation issue? We all know the dollar isn't backed by gold and the Fed prints it at will. And I want to talk about this because this is what I said to a guy, or not a guy, but a video I did yesterday about market timing. It's always best to buy when the markets are up, according to evidence. Historically, if you bought on the upside, you made more money than if you bought on the downside. That's just all there is to it. Does that mean it will be? I have no clue. But what I said was, look, the way to invest is, what do you think the market is going to be in 5 years? If you think it's going to be higher, buy. If you think it's going to be lower, don't. It's literally that simple. Some guy said market timing never works. I'm not saying market timing. I'm saying going to bed at night sleep timing is what it is. If you truly think the markets will be lower 5 years from now than today, then you shouldn't invest. Investing is not speculating. Investing is about being optimistic for the future. Literally, I think the markets will be higher 5 years from now. Thus, I want to partake in that upside. Thus, I'll invest. It's literally that simple. It's not market timing. It's just saying I'm optimistic about the future or I'm pessimistic about the future. You got to make those decisions yourself, my friends. I think you should be optimistic about the future. Yes, absolutely. So I am, and I invest in markets. That what I was getting across was, and I was kind of dismayed that this guy didn't see this, I was saying what people do say, I think the markets will be higher in the future, but I also think there's going to be some going like this, and thus I will wait until it falls before I invest. Well, that's market timing. And I literally could not have been clearer in this. So I'm here. I think it'll be here. But in the interim, I think it could go like this and go like that. And what I'm going to do is wait till it falls before I invest. And then I'm going to jump in when it's low because I think it'll be higher in the future. You can't do that. So if you ultimately think you're here and it's going to be here, well, just invest now, for heaven's sake. Yeah, you got to go along with the ride, but whoop-de-flip-and-do. You just say to yourself, I think it will be higher in the future. So invest and be done with it. But if you don't think it's going to be higher in the future, why would you mess with it? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think the market will be higher in the future. Then don't invest. Invest in gold, invest in CDs. I'm not going to convince you otherwise. No way. And this is one of the reasons I always advise new financial advisors. Stop with your charts trying to convince people to do what you think they should do. Just tell them, do you think your market will be higher in the future? No? Then don't invest. And if they're hiring you and you convince them to invest and then you are wrong and they are right, you're going to get a lawsuit, dude, because you told them to invest and they said, I told them I was nervous about it. I'm telling you right now, you cannot convince people who are pessimistic. You can't. It's impossible. Don't mess with it. So if you're a budding financial advisor and it's your thinking, you have a duty to convince Joe or whatever this lady's name is, Lynette Zhang, that she's wrong, that she should invest. Well, guess what? If she is wrong and she should invest. Well, that's good. You'll be happy, but she will always be negative. The higher the market goes, the more negative she's going to be because the valuations are high. I'm just telling you, that's a battle, my financial advisor friends, you cannot win. So don't fight that battle. You can't win. If the market goes up, old Lynette there is going to get even more nervous. And if you try to tell her to stay in the market and now it's up and it's up and it's up, and then the market falls, as it will certainly do, she will say, yeah, the market did go up, but I took it on the chin after it went up for when it had the recession, which is inevitable, or not recession, the bear market, which is inevitable. You can't win that battle with these people. You can't. The negative Nellies, the pessimists, are going to be pessimistic. You cannot win that battle. Thus, don't take them on as clients. I'm telling you, I've been through this. Well, look, if we had a diversified portfolio, it averaged 8% a year, and look, your gold or what, it doesn't matter. It matters not, because they will always be right. They will always be right, i.e., what I mean by that. Market goes up, is more time to be risky. And you're going to say, well, stay in it now because we've already made some money. We can make more. No, I want to get out because I've already made the money. I got lucky, essentially. Market goes down. They were right, because they said the market would go down. Guess who they're going to hold accountable? They're going to hold you accountable. Market goes up and you keep them in the market. At some point, you're going to have a bear market and they'll be proven right. They'll say, see, we should have got out just like I told you. All your charts won't matter. Market goes down and you try to convince them to go in the market because it's going to outperform according to historical evidence. I'm telling you, you're going to be wrong no matter what. They will be right every single time because there will be a recession. And when there was going to be a recession too, but there will be a bear market. And when there is one, they can say, see, I told you. I should have stood by and waited for that bear market to come. I'm telling you, man, that's what's going to happen. So, Deborah, what do I think? Man, look, if you stay, this is going back. What do you think the market's going to do? I mean, I will just tell you, if the market isn't some unknowable, it's not some, ghost in the machine there. The market, the S&P 500, is literally the biggest 500 companies in America, the companies that you frequent every single day. We got to divide this market ghost phenomenon versus the reality is the market is individuals, human beings who shop, who work, who own these companies. Sometimes the market, as a stock market, doesn't value these companies correctly and they drop in value. Sometimes the stock market overvalues these companies and they go up in value more so than their actual earnings. But that's the key. Are they making money? Will they continue to make money? I don't know I just literally don't know how people can say, no, they won't continue to make money. If they don't continue, because of Elizabeth Warren, because of Donald Trump, I don't get that. Even during FDR, they made money. Even during the commie crisis, we were worried about getting nuked. We made money. Could that change? Sure. The Bolsheviks could come over. Antifa could take over. All right, but that's likely or not? I don't think it's likely. Could it? Sure, it could happen. But if it didn't happen to Obama, with the Democrats, 60 senators they had in the Senate when Obama was elected. So they had a far left radical president. They had 60 senators. Many of them were left radicals. And they had a House majority, like 270, 280 members of the House. And they couldn't get stuff. With the media at beck and call, with academia, with the media, the entertainment, all these things all aligned, and they still couldn't get stuff done. So companies still made money. That's the nature of the gridlock of the wonderful thing about the U.S. is that we are geared towards slowing things down, which is great because freedom doesn't get yanked from you just with a stroke of a pen. All right. So like Obama said, I have a pen and I have a phone. And essentially the assumption was he could just write legislation. He can't do it. So at the end of the day, even if Obama could not stop the train of corporate capitalism, I hate to say capitalism, so I'll say corporatism, but at the end of the day, they made money. You still went to Walmart, you still went to Costco, you still got your tires changed, you still had to get roof put on your home, you still had buildings, you still had water bill, you still had electric bill, you still had these things where people are actually working and making money in these companies and turning those profits over via dividends or increasing earnings per share, which is good. So you still made money. Is that going to go away in the next 5 years? Who knows? I don't think it is. I don't think you should think so, but I can't convince you. I can't convince Lynette Zhang. I can't. And I wouldn't want to. Why would I want to argue in a negative presumption anyway? I mean, it's a fiat currency. Well, yeah, guess what? It's been a fiat currency for a long time. Could we be the next Germany, Weimar Republic? Sure. Will we? Probably not, but we could. So if that's your biggest concern, then man, go gold and silver. I got no qualm with that. A guy from Overstock CEO is liquidating his funds to invest in gold. I don't care. I mean, why would you care about that? I mean, for every guy that's liquidating his funds to invest in gold, there's many, many more who are buying stocks. But frankly, I could care less. I mean, I don't get it. And I literally could care less about what the JP Morgan being charged with RICO violations. I just don't care, because at the end of the day, I have to go to Walmart later today or Costco and buy some chicken, buy some other stuff so I can put food on the table tonight. And that is going to go to their bottom line for the earnings per share. And I'm going to purchase those goods by someone who has stacked them, someone who rang me up, someone who's sitting there loading the truck, someone who's sitting there delivering the goods, someone who's sitting there growing the goods. I will have to do that to buy that chicken, which comes from some farm. And all those people are getting paid, and all those people are making money, absolutely. So unless the Bolsheviks do take over, and the difference between the Russia of 1917 and even China, I might add, of freaking 1947 when Mao took over, is we aren't Russia and China, all right? We did not have Tsar Alexander as running the show here, who did some insanely stupid things. As much as you may or may not hate Trump or may or may not hate Obama, we aren't the same country. That doesn't mean it can't happen. It just means the likelihood of that happening seems so small, so remote to me, that I will go down with the ship with my investments in stocks. At the end of the day, the best thing to do is have enough money to park in cash and the rest in stocks. I'll just go along. I'll just say that till I'm blue in the face. How much you need in cash? 3 to 5 years, right? And the rest in stocks, and be done with it. That's what I would say. It's not market timing, but just we'll end this. You are here today. I don't even know what the S&P 500 is. What is it, 3,000, something like that? Let's take a gander, shall we? The S&P 500 today is, let's see what we got. Is at 28.93. So the S&P 500 is down about 107 points off. It hit 3,000 a few months ago. Oh no! All right, so the S&P 500 is at 28.93 today. All right, so will it be lower than 28.93 dividends factored in, or higher than 28.93 5 years from now? That's your decision to make. Make it wisely. And if you think it's going to be higher, then go stocks. If you think it's going to be lower, then go bonds or CDs or gold. I got no qualm with that. I hope this helps. Thanks.